In our last Front Porch Chat, we asked you what kind of videos you would like to see more of, and a lot of you said a day in the life of. Well, today is another adventure here at Creekside Nursery, so come along and join me. Hello friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. I am Jenny, and today I thought it would be fun to take you on an adventure with me as I go through the day here at the nursery. The day's already like halfway over. It's almost lunchtime, but we had, of course, family things and school and all of that to take care of. And now that the family business is taken care of, we're going to turn our attention towards the nursery. Got a lot of things going on today. We're supposed to have a delivery from our local kind of big box store that's going to deliver the last of the lumber and the supplies needed to finish out the deck area at the patio. My daddy has been taking care of that for me. So these are the last supplies for the flower boxes that are supposed to arrive. So at some point that delivery is supposed to come, so we'll take care of that. Also, we are going to go over to the nursery and start potting up some more plants, because this week we have gotten the Caladiums from Proven Winners. They have come, so yay, get them growing. We got the Basil from Proven Winners, the Amazing Basil, so that will need to get going. And then one of the most exciting is the coffee cups elephant ears. We did not think we were going to get that from Proven Winners. There was some crop issues with them, but Erica over there at 4-Star came through for us and got us some of those coffee cups. So before we get too far into it, I am going to tell you that coffee cups is only going to be for sale here at the nursery, because we do have a limited supply, so we are going to have it for sale only here at the nursery. My online folks, I do apologize. It just couldn't be helped. This was one of those things where we didn't even think we were going to get it at all, and then we were surprised that we did get it. But just, if you can find it somewhere, grab it. Local people, we will have it here for you. So that's very exciting. So there's all that going on. I've got to get all the supplies, go back and forth with the Kubota and the Bobcat and soil and pots and whew. But I'm by myself today. Jerry is at a job, and the kids are all in various places. So it's going to be a little bit more work because I'm the only one doing this today, but it's also going to be nice because it'll be a little bit of a quiet time. So I'm just going to take you on the ride and kind of show you all the different steps that are involved. So let's get started. So I'm up here with the production greenhouse. Right now this is kind of the area that's just a hot mess because we have got plants coming out of our ears. But what I need to do is the basil goes in a certain pot, the caladiums go in a certain pot. So I've got to collect all my pots, I'm going to put them on the wagon, then we're going to take them back down to the nursery because these two greenhouses are slammed. The other greenhouse down at the nursery, we're starting to move out some of the petunias because they can handle the cooler temperatures, and we can crank up those temperatures in that greenhouse because all of these plants that we're going to be potting up today love it nice and warm. So I'm just going to grab my handy dandy gloves and get started finding the pots that I need and loading them up on the trailer so we can take them back down to the nursery. And it's rained the last couple of days, so, or yesterday rather, so everything's wet, which makes it even more fun. So all of the pots are loaded up. We have got quart size containers, we have got quart size trays because that's a different tray. We've got the caladium pots, the larger caladium pots, which are these guys. This is a quart to give you an idea of the difference. This is a 2 quart and this is a 1 quart, so they're double the size. And then we've got the basil pots, trays, shovel for the soil. So now we're going to go take this to the nursery, drop it off, then come back with the bobcat to get some potting soil because I don't have any potting soil down there. So just a lot of moving parts right now. Just got down here to the nursery and lo and behold, we got a delivery while we were getting all those containers. So this looks like this is going to be from Walter's Gardens, which it is. There's their sweet logo. So these are going to be all perennials. And look at this. All right, folks, all of you sweet people online who have been eagerly anticipating us restocking the cat's pajamas, that is in. So we have got some black pearl euchera. I mean, look at all of these plants. So trust me, when we say that we're trying to do and restock, we are definitely trying to do that. Over here, let's see, what do we have? We've got lots of live plants. There's more nepeta. So this will be interesting. So you can see in these kind of containers that they are probably going to, when they have the little slits and it says live plants, obviously that's going to be in a plug, a liner, and so those are going to be actual plants. And then you can see down here those big ones, or where it has in the little hole, you can see where it has the plastic. So that means it's going to be a bare root. And then all these cardboard boxes are labels and pots. So that is that order. So I'll add that to my to-do list. And then over here yesterday, we got FedEx freight because we have been eagerly ordering more annuals for all of you guys. These are simply trays and pots, I believe. So this is the Proven Winners trays and pots. Let's see if we can go see what is in this box here. Give me just a second. Oh, let's see. Oh, that is going to be, oh, they're trays. So you can see that those are all trays, and then yeah, so what we're going to do is, I guess, go ahead and go get the bobcat so we can get some soil and we can start potting up. always a fun job around here. At least it's only soil. Guess this means I'm loading it by hand for at least some of it. We should say a little prayer that they don't fall off going down in the nursery. Wouldn't surprise me though. There are days when things just seem to go crazy, and one of those days is today. So, we're gonna keep on going. All right, friends, some days it's a little harder to get going than others. Today seems to be that day. It's all right, it's all good, right? It's all good. Consider it all joy. So here we are. I had some difficulty getting the pallet of soil to cooperate because I'm pretty good with the Bobcat. Like I can unload off of trailers and trucks and all that kind of thing, but those pallets of soil are really heavy, and obviously they're top heavy. And the wood underneath the pallet was kind of jacked up, and I couldn't get a good hold on it. I struggled. Obviously it tipped over. It's all right. Had to hand load some bags of soil on here. That's all right. So it's all good. Now, I know this is not the most efficient way to fill up pots, and I am sure some of you folks out there have all sorts of good ideas on how I should be doing this. But you know what? I'm working by myself today, so it is what it is, and we're gonna go with it. The job's getting done. Again, it is what it is. We're moving forward. So right now, I have put out, we have about 200, a little over 200 Amazel basil plants from Proven Winners. These are the Amazel basil containers, so they have branded information on them. So the basil will go in here. Obviously, basil is a very warm weather loving plant. So today is cloudy. It's a little cool. I'm going to work in batches. They are in trays of 52, and I think as long as I am efficient with what I'm doing, that they shouldn't wilt when I bring them outside. So right now I'm just filling up the pots, and these are a 4.25 size container. They're not a quart. Quarts are just a little bit bigger than the 4.25. You get a really nice size plant. So I have already gotten I went ahead and did 210 trays, well, not trays, pots, because I know, like I said, I think I have 208 plants. So trying to be a little bit more, get all this soil going and cleaned up before I bring the plants outside. So what I'm gonna do is just fill it up. All right, so here we have a beautiful tray of the Amazel Basil. This is a tray of 52, and we can see, yep, they just slide right out. So this is just a beautiful plug that you can see. It's got nice root systems on it, beautiful foliage on it, and it smells like basil. It's just glorious. We do have, I don't know if you saw a little bit earlier, the honeybees are out and about. So if I start doing a little dance, it's because the honeybees are out and around. They are starting to stir. They are happy. One was drinking some water off of a pot earlier. So when I'm planting the basils, basically I am planting them right at where their stem meets the soil. Not too deep, not too high, just putting it right in there. Normally, I don't recommend when we're pulling plants liners out of the trays. Normally we pop them out, but this is kind of that special foam type soil, growing medium rather, it's not a soil, and they're sliding right out. So I'm not having to tug at all. Otherwise, I don't want to tug on the basil plants because I could snap the stem and then I have to start it all over as far as the growing process. So we're just getting them in here. Now, Amazel Basil is fantastic because it is very downy mildew resistant and it's an extremely vigorous grower. It is that traditional, like a Genovese type basil. It's perfect for cooking, eating. It makes an amazing pesto. This plant gets massive. It gets huge. If you remember at the end of the season last year, Christine and I were cleaning up the trial garden bed and we had, I think it was 2 Amazel Basils over there. They were like small shrubs, small trees. They were huge and it smelled glorious. Oh my gosh, when we were pulling it up, it just had this amazing, gorgeous basil smell to it. So even for our family of 5, 1 plant was enough. In the beginning, you might think, oh no, I need 2 or 3 of these plants. And that's fine. I'm not telling you not to get 2 or 3. I'm just letting you know that when these plants actually are in all of their glory, 1 is about all that you can handle. And I made tons of pesto. I froze it. My kids were finally like, Mama, enough pesto. I was like, oh, it's so good. So it does produce an abundant crop. Also, Amazel Basil is slow to bolt. So bolting happens in a lot of your foliage plants. It happens to your lettuce and your arugula, and your spinach, it happens to coleus, it happens to the basil. So bolting is when it actually sends off the shoot for the flower, which would then turn into the seeds. So Amazel Basil is slow to do that because, which is a good thing, when it bolts, a lot of times it will change the flavor of the plant. So of course you're gonna have, since it's slow to bolt, it will have that great flavor for a long period of time, the whole season. And if it does bolt, you can just snip it off and just keep on going. It's a great plant, very popular. Love it down here in the South. Like I said, I had multiple plants because I had it up in the garden boxes and I had it down here for people to see. Never had one issue of downy mildew, which is really kind of common because we have such hot, humid weather. So the downy mildew can be a quite pesky issue here. So this is just the first tray of 50. I've got 3 more to go. So I'm gonna do a tray, then I'm gonna get it into the greenhouse so that these little sweet things don't get too much of a cold shock. So we're just gonna keep on potting up. Due to TV magic, the coffee cups are already potted up. My sweet mama is helping me today, and I had to run over to the house to print off some tags and grab a bite to eat, and so she just got these all potted for me, lickety split, so that is fantastic. So coffee cups is new to Proven Winners this year. Coffee cups has been around for a while. It is that great calicasia, the elephant ear, nice and upright, gorgeous, just beautiful colors on it. I mean, the veining on it is nice and dark. You've got beautiful dark foliage on it, dark stems. It's definitely a big thriller and kind of a filler at the same time, either in a very large pot or in the landscape. So these are gorgeous. They do like it hot, so they are not gonna go outside anytime soon. They're doing fine right now, but we're gonna pop them into this nice warm greenhouse and get them nice and full. Again, these are gonna be for sale only at the nursery and not online. So that's just gonna be a perk for those of you who come to the nursery and shop, that we will have these available. We have roughly about 200 of them, and once they're gone, because we were lucky to even get these. Proven Winners had a big crop failure, so there was an issue with that. But again, Erica came through for us and got them for us. So they are here, yay! And now we just gotta get them in that warm greenhouse and get them growing. Alrighty friends, so what is going on now is we have got a Caladium potting party going on right now. And then of course I just had a phone call from one of our dear precious friends, Jacqueline, who said, hey, I just looked at the forecast and the kids and I can come help you move plants if you need to. I'm like, what are you talking about, Jacqueline? Yeah, so tomorrow morning, it's gonna start raining tonight, and then tomorrow they're calling for really bad thunderstorms, large hail, tornado, high winds.
Do you think I'll be okay
just great, what a nursery owner wants to hear before spring begins. So what we're doing right now is we're still trying to get the caladiums done because they will go in the greenhouse with all the other warm weather plants. Then when Jacqueline and her kiddos get here, we will go ahead and start moving some of the annuals that we have outside underneath the tables. Jackson is doing that now. So let's talk about caladiums before we start getting ready for some severe weather. All right, so here is a caladium bulb from Proven Winners. This variety is called Scarlet Flame. And these have already been de-eyed and they have been painted white, as you can see. So it helps because the white side goes up. So like you see Andrew is there potting, yep, white side up. And because of the size of these, we're putting 2 per pot. So he has them, and then we're gonna partially fill the pots with soil, not all the way. Then you put the caladium bulbs in, and then like Jerry's doing, and then you come back with the soil and you cover it up. And of course, then they get tagged and they are happy little caladiums. Caladiums like it really hot. So, oh, did you need that one? Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, sorry. So caladiums like it really hot and humid, so they do great in the south. But it's interesting in the greenhouse because you've got to get it nice and toasty in there in order for them to break dormancy and begin growing. So that is a crash course in caladiums and potting up caladiums. We will see how the weather holds out, and anyway, always adventure here at Creekside.
Same box.
Cute dress at Old Navy. Yeah. So it was just
They thought that was about the coolest thing. You're driving up.
Yeah, you're like driving a car. It looks like you're driving a car.
So what we have going on here is that we had set out, look at Jackson. So Jackson, slow it down there, brother. He wants to get it done. All right, so we had all these tables filled with petunias, and you can see back there are some baptisia that are emerging. What we're gonna do is put them, like what Jackson's doing, is putting them carefully underneath the table, and then we have landscape fabric, frost protection blankets that we'll put on top to help with any damaging rain or hail. So that's what we're doing right now. It's kind of an all hands on deck situation. And then we have some sweet friends coming to the rescue. All right, friends, the day is coming to a close. It is 6:30 at night. Thank goodness for some time change. Otherwise, we would have lost an hour of work. I mean, y'all, it's been a day. We've gotten a lot of work done. So we've got all of the basil planted, all of the elephant ears planted, all of the caladiums planted. That was 1,600 little bulbs are planted. And we got this was last week, we got a special delivery from Classic Caladiums, who that is the company, the breeder of the caladiums for Proven Winners. They are a massive, fantastic business of themselves in their own right in Florida. And so they sent us a, what was that? No. Jerry can't make faces at me behind the camera. He's got to talk, because otherwise I'm like, huh? Anyway, so Classic Caladium sent us this great, huge container full of some Proven Winners caladiums, some of their caladiums, some of their canna lilies, some of their alocasia, all sorts of these great bulbs. So we planted them up in black containers, of course, with their tags. And so now I have a Jenny's Touch and Die section down here in the greenhouse. So I can't wait to show you how they are going to grow and develop over the coming weeks and months, and then we get to use them in the landscape and all around. It's going to be really fun, because just looking at those pictures is just amazing. So we'll give you updates on those as we do nursery tours and so forth and so on. And then of course behind me you can see that our sweet friend Jacqueline and her crew came out and helped us, really kind of just helped us, you know, great friends. And so all the annuals that were outside have been tucked up underneath the tables. That is a fabric, like a landscape fabric, that is for a frost protection. So you can use them for row covers and those things to help extend your seasons. We've used them in the past for vegetable crops, but they're just really nice because they insulate the plants by, you know, several degrees. Here, we're not worried about the cold. We're worried about hail and really strong, heavy rain, because the heavy rain, obviously if we get hail, will just shred the flowers and shred the plants. We don't have any room in the greenhouse to put them back in there because they're now filled with basil, elephant ears, and caladiums. So being under the table, under the wire, and then that fabric on top, they'll still get wet, that's fine, but they won't get pounded. So that's the deal with that. We put shrubs all around them to help hold it down, because of course you're supposed to have high winds. But you know, such is life here at Creekside. It is never boring. Jerry, right before we started filming this, we had talking to Andrew, so we've had the Lowe's delivery did come with the things for the boxes on the deck. So we didn't show that just because it was in the middle of the madness of trying to figure out about these storms. So that came, we had a FedEx delivery, UPS came. I mean, it's just been like a revolving door around here. And then tomorrow with the weather, so it's just never boring around here. And we're gonna go home and just take it easy. But I hope you've enjoyed this a little bit behind the scenes. Of course, just a little snapshot of what's going on here at Creekside Nursery. As always, thank you so much for gardening with Creekside. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.